What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me whenever I'm live. Let's kick things off with some class tuning. How much is Blizzard loving or hating you personally this week? The official notes are on screen, and I'll provide some commentary. Death Knights are being asked to take a look at the Deathbringer hero tree. For Blood and Frost DKs, they get some buffs to their talents, and a nerf to the Blood Beast for sand lanes, but the nerf isn't as bad for Unholy specs. Vengeance Demon Hunters got clipped a bit, with a shorter silence length from their sigil, and a nerf to Eldrazi Reaver's Incorruptible Spirit effect. Balance Druids got some retuning, shifting some throughput away from Starfall and distributing it everywhere else. Boundless Moonlight also got a modest nerf. Augmentation Evokers are trying to make a comeback with another significant buff to personal damage and reverting the nerf to Breath of Eons. I still feel supports like this are seen from the higher end community as either a must-have or a must-avoid. Unfortunately, that influence tends to work its way down the skill levels. My hopes are that in the future, the idea of support is something that the tank role can pick up. Now, you might hate that, it's okay, I'm just sharing a quick take. Arcane Mages got a straight-up buff, very nice. Meanwhile, the Sun Fury specs receiving some additional buffs to their AoE. Brewmaster Monks have not been forgotten, with direct increases to their armor, their dodge chance, their damage absorption, and threat. Mistweavers look like their effective healing is going up while some of their single target damage is going down, but it shouldn't affect situations where cleaving is happening. And Shadowpan Windwalkers are receiving a few targeted buffs to their damage. Holy Paladins got a mix of changes, with what's more healing overall, but for those using Light of the Martyr, they can no longer spam it to activate healing absorbs. For Ret Pallies, Herald of the Sun is making a comeback with what appear to be some significant buffs. Discipline Priests have been under attack for a few weeks on social media, and Blizzard's finally responding with some targeted nerfs to what made them feel fun or overpowered or both, I don't know. It seems this change is targeted more towards Mythic Plus gameplay, with them trying to make up for the change with atonement buffs. Meanwhile, Holy is enjoying a big round of buffs to try and bring players back to him. Shaman are enjoying plenty of buffs this week. Ellie Shaman got some love with a few targeted damage buffs and more for those who roll Farseer. Stormcaller and Enhanced Shaman are also up, as is the damage from their Restoration spec. Warlocks are also getting a round of buffs across all specs, a bit more AoE for Affliction and Destruction, and more single target damage for Demo. And if your class wasn't mentioned, you're fine, you're totally fine. Over the weekend, players pointed out a change to WoW's gold trading policy. There was a bit of confusion, so I'll share my understanding, but don't consider what I say to be like the official policy. A link to the actual statement is included in the video description just in case the language changes. Basically, there were clarifications where it's prohibited to trade one version of WoW Gold for another version of WoW Gold. This means on Classic Realms, you can't offer 10,000 gold on Faralina for 10,000 gold on Whitemane, but if you can pay for a character transfer from one realm to the other and transfer your own gold, then hey, you can do that within the limits of the current rules. It also means you can't trade like 10,000 gold on a Classic Era realm for 1,000,000 gold on a Modern Era realm and vice versa. Everything else, though, is considered normal behavior, like paying gold directly to the team boosting you through raids, giving it to guildmates, or, social services over on Moonguard. This coming week, we get another Catalyst charge and our path towards obtaining Tier, or probably Transmog these days. Arathi Blizzard is the brawl for this week, and the World Quest bonus event is in play. It's the one that doesn't get you any closer to getting that black trench coat, no, but you do get oodles of reputation from World Quests and a fat bonus to the renown of your choice whenever you complete said quest. For collectors, it's quite the road to obtaining all the cosmetics from this expansion by farming up resonant crystals. Folks who tend to work on lots of alts and outdoor activities, they're gonna have a much easier time than us filthy casuals who just raid and get gear? Scrubs, right? Over in Mythic Plus World, it's a tyrannical fortified week, and the Xalatath affix is Devour. That's where you count on the healer to cover you, even though you're out of range of heals for some wild reason. And over on the Delve side of WoW, I want to offer a bit of a tip, or maybe call this a highlight. Spawning little metal dinosaurs is often the Curio of choice, thanks to its ability to taunt mobs and deal damage over a period of time. But I want to point out the awesome destructive power of the Pocket Factory. Yeah. The Pocket Factory spawns a number of turrets that provide some defense, crowd control, and very important, damage from its lightning turret. The turrets spawn randomly and not often in the same formation. They obey line of sight too, so if the lightning turret spawns on a slope or behind an obstruction, you're kind of boned. But when given its moment to shine, it really comes through, dealing something like, 6 to 10 million damage per shot, and when it strikes, it can chain between several enemies. The internal cooldown between Pocket Factory procs and the firing rate of the turret itself, it's fairly short, meaning it's available on a fairly consistent basis and can tear through bosses. For the time being at least, it's going to be my Curio of choice alongside the Pacifist rig. In my opinion, it's the best of the utility choices for tanks and DPS. Healers take a risk leaving Brand to fend for himself while you're in the rig, so the Bioprinter, in my opinion, it's still the favorite. That's going to be it for what's going on so far this week. Now that we know what we know about Horrific Visions, I can take my sweet time setting up a robust guide on how all the things work and how to navigate through visions section by section to make your life a little bit easier. And of course, I'll be on the lookout for news on player housing while completing more of my transmog collections on stream. Please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, drop by, catch me live here or on Twitch for the streams, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.